Hey everyone, it's Ross. Welcome to Season 2, Adventures in the Void Spacecast. This season we're talking about independent and folk science fiction tabletop role-playing games. The following is an actual play of the original Starfaring role-playing game, Classic Traveler, by Mark Miller and Games Designer Workshop. So get your vac suit on, your sidearm ready, and prepare to exit jump space. We've got money to make and worlds to explore, and we hope you'll join us on these adventures. Out here on the Imperial Fringe, it's just us veterans of the Fifth Frontier War keeping the space lanes moving. Free traders like us, still willing to evade the pirates, the terrorists, the zealots, the criminals. They prey on these war-torn ruins of 100 worlds. They call us travelers. We aren't liked, but we're needed. We use our skills we learned in the service to operate starships and earn a buck. We ain't looking for trouble, but it always finds us. When it does, it'll find us ready. Rolling my D4. I got a 4. Were you here last time, Thomas? You missed last time, I think. Or was it that or the time before last?
No, I was here last time.
Okay, right on. What happened last time?
So last time we left the system that we were in Bowman, and we went to find this rock that had all this radiated material on it, and we were being followed. And we evaded our followers, and we successfully found the radiated rock and planted our stake. And then we came back to Bowman, I believe. I think that's right. And to claim our stake, and then we were attacked by these goons that killed Lucky John, or Lucky Yo? What's his name? Lucky what?
Yeah.
Lucky Yo
I'm
stood
sorry.
for Johan.
Yeah, him. And he died, unfortunately. I tried to save him and it didn't work. But then we went to the oh, I can't think of it. The procurer of the thing. And we were told that we could go to a different planet to pick up our loot for 5 million credits, I believe. And we decided that we were going to take the cruiser, the scout ship, and go claim our reward that we so rightfully earned.
Yeah. I'll zoom out and give some broader things that are going on too. You are all wanted fugitives in the Iterati subsector, according to the Iterati Control Zone Authority, the Colonial Authority on Raleigh. Now, the X-Boat network has probably already moved that information around, but the thing that matters out here on the Imperial Fringe is what gets talked about in bars, and then once somebody sees you as an opportunity. At some point, that might catch up with you. On top of that, you're skipping, and you've been unable to pay your mortgage. Now, once we jump a couple of ways out from Bowman, you'll be coming up on your second mortgage payment that needs to be paid, that you'll have to skip.
But we are not currently flying the Lady of Mercia.
Indeed,
So that,
and we'll
that
talk
should
about
help
that.
us.
I agree. Yeah, you got like a dirty ship, and it's docked in. Not only is it skipping, not only are you fugitives and labeled as co-conspirators with terrorists, you're also working with the enemies of the state, sword worlders, to try to get their pulse laser put on your ship. So you've got some things. Now you got to deal with this attorney from McClellan, the big mega corporation, the Imperial mega corporation, and he claims if you help him out with a former employer in Squalia and set him up as a fall guy for something that's going on there, and take a job from them and then switch on him He'll also pay you. He'll also help you make your way. I always forget it's trailing. Make your way to the Galactic East, which is what you said your goal is. Also, your former contact from Raleigh, who did give you payment to kill Captain Borgelson, your friend and sword welder, who is providing his pulse laser in exchange for his life and the Voden's Eye, his 400-ton free trader. He sent a missive, which was picked up by Shipley, and it simply says that Yukon wishes for a summit in Elizabeth. Let's get back to that. You guys don't let me forget that. But we have a few decisions to make, and if it's okay, I'd like to abstract them instead of just like, let's make the decisions and keep moving. Let me find... So let's just imagine you're here in Bowman, all right? We got a few decisions to make. You guys haven't headed out yet. Big question. And by the way, I would recommend I won't switch to it because I think we would just continually switch back and forth. Maybe sometimes I will if I want to point to something, but you all may want to have Traveler Map up in the background. If you don't, travelermap.com. And then type in Bowman, and it'll bring you right where you need to go. Right, Spinward Marches. Anyways, I'm gonna mute you, Thomas. Do you want to meet with Yukon and take the time to have that audience in Elizabeth now? I think that he gave a time, but I think it's in the future.
Yes, it was 2 months out from when we got the message.
So that would actually be 1.5 months, which will be 1 month from... So you could, for example, I guess just to kind of contract this to be quick, you could go to Elizabeth and wait, or you could go to Elizabeth, come back with your money, get the Lady of Mercia, try to make it past Nurton, which I suppose would be the big downside there, and then go back to Elizabeth again and make it within 2 months. Or you could ignore it.
Well, I don't. It's far more efficient of our time to go there and wait. Because we can make our payments from there. We don't have to be in the ship to make the payment, right?
Yeah, absolutely. For the payments for the Lady of Mercy, yeah, you can assume it gets paid as soon as you have the money.
I mean, the only downside to that is we're not using the ship to make money during that time, but we will have bought ourselves a little bit of a cushion, and we will be in a better ship to deal with it if it's another double cross, because this one is faster and has armament. So that's my argument. I guess the downside is, I mean, is the guy who we're renting the ship from, he's probably going to charge us more when we get back if we stick around for 2 more
So let me skip ahead on that detail, and then I'm going to go around the table, and that's going to kind of define the goal for the session, I think. So let's talk about the arrow for a moment, just so you can all make the best decision for this. The arrow. I am using the charter rules, which are actually pretty cool. I actually think that you probably could, early on in the game, just charter a starship and be a traveler. but it is 5,400 credits round trip. It is a I'm not using the Bowman rules precisely for reasons I won't go into, but it is the default loadout of the regular Scout Courier with a couple of exceptions. It has a double turret with Sandcaster and Pulse Laser, and it also has a mining equipment that takes up the cargo bay. It also has a sensor suite particularly useful for finding valuables, either salvage or asteroids. But in every other respect, it's a Scout Courier. So you can use it as a Scout Courier, except that it does not have fuel scoops, and it does not have... It has the software I mentioned last time.
So we can't stop at the gas giant then. We have to land
Or-
at the Trillion.
Is that what there was something last time where I was like, this is a local ship, but it has operative jump drive because it would be so expensive to try to get maintenance in Bowman. So like to do an overhaul maintenance annually, it would need to actually leave the system. So there's just no way it would happen in Bowman. But was it the fuel scoops that I said? Or was it just the software? We'll just say it's the software. You can use the fuel scoops. No problem. But you have the software I mentioned last time. Okay, so here's the deal. Round trip, it's, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4. It's 1 month, 5,400 credits. You can actually hire additional crew, by the way, if you want, but you have to pay them. And they get paid in monthly periods. You are also responsible for all of the ship's costs, including berthing, fuel, and then the big cost is the portion of the annual maintenance. Now, you would pay that when you return. So you'd pay 5,400 credits up front, and by the time you'll pay all the operating costs as you go, and by the time you return, you'll pay any crew salary and 29,430 credits in maintenance. That's to operate the ship for a month. 2 months, you'll double that.
Okay, so we're basically a good with 5.5 million. We pay the ship for 2 months, and that's just under 400,000. Okay, but we haven't heard from other people yet.
Yeah. So for 2 months, if you decide to stay, it would be 10,800 credits. And then when you come back, it would be approximately 60,000 some credits that you would owe. And then you'll not be making money during that time, as you said. Okay. Doc Ocean, what do you think y'all should do?
I think we should go get our money. As Jerry Maguire once said, show me the money. And yeah, I definitely think we should go get it.
Well, the question is, so they have this contact with this agent, but he's not going to meet for another month and a half, or a month by the time you get there, a month and a half. So Captain Bellamy is proposing that you just wait there for a month and a half. You could try to find local work, by the way.
Isn't it a month and a half from now?
It's 2 months.
Yeah.
No, I'm sorry. Yeah, you're right. A month and a half from now. It'll be a month when you get there.
It'll take a few weeks to get there anyway. So that
It's going to take, by the way, it's going to take at the very least 2 weeks. That's if we make good time on the jump, we land, we do nothing but land, refuel, take off same day, and have another good jump. So
yeah, but
so best case scenario, we still got no more than a month when we get to Elizabeth.
nonetheless, the question is a matter of, do you take that month trying to come back and forth with the Lady of Mercia, or do you just stay? And so, anyways, that's the question, Doc Ocean. What do you think? Or you could ignore the summons. That's a third option.
Well, I don't really have a dog in the fight, really. I just I feel like we should stay. Yeah, I feel like that'd be the good choice to go for.
Books, what do you think?
So if we go, so if we were to go, can you explain what the real advantage is?
Yeah, the big difference is that you could get the Lady of Mercia and make trade money on the way back. So you could potentially, like you sometimes have had some bad luck, but if you have a run of good luck, you could pay your mortgage twice over, doing cargo runs from Bowman, Walston. I mean, let's be honest, that's not a lot of money. To Trillion, Caliburn.
But we could still do
but-
jobs in town as well, right? Like
So
that's,
yeah, so if you make it to Elizabeth, you might find work there. There might be local work, anyways. But I guess the big difference is you won't have the Lady of Mercia, and you'll have to just wait with a ship that is not yours. That's the big difference.
okay. I think we stay. Yeah, I think we could always find other work, even if we don't have our ship or the captain's ship. We'll I think we could still make do. It makes sense to me to stay.
All right, Chapman, what do you think?
I want to meet up with Yukon, and I don't think there's really any way for us to be able to do that if we decide to go back for the Lady of Mercia
No.
right away anyway.
There
so
really isn't. We'd be like
We go there-
We'd be 2 months late if we came back in a jump one ship.
Yeah. And also we don't want to go through there on our jump one ship anyway, so
I forgot about that. You
I'm-
got to jump one ship, so it wouldn't even be possible because it's
so
jump one.
I'm fine hanging around in Elizabeth for another month after we collect our 5 million, because there's a guy who's going to meet up with us there, and I am confident in our ability to keep ourselves occupied in the meantime. Probably find no shortage of trouble there. We might want to do some. What do we know about Elizabeth before we get ourselves mixed up there?
Well, you have a ship's library, and you have access to the Starport Authority, so you know it's a universal planetary profile. Any other information, you would need to actually go to a bar and ask some spacers.
We do have a ship's library.
I thought you said you had a ship's library. You don't? Either way, you have the Starport Authority, so you can go and you can look up the UPP. Or, I'm sorry, UWP. I'm sorry. And anyways, the UWP you can see on Traveler Map. So you could, it's not metagaming to look at that. It's got a good starport, and this is an interesting mix, like, why? But it's a binary star system with 6 worlds and a gas giant. A really good starport, but the atmosphere is thin and tainted, and there's a fairly small population, but more than, say, Walston and Bowman and stuff. And then it's a colony, like Raleigh. That's what it claims to be. By the way, this information could be inaccurate or outdated. They have a fairly high law level, and
Well, it has a base
yes,
of some sort.
yeah, it has a naval base there.
Yeah.
So you have this world that's a colony world with a thin, tainted atmosphere and a fairly small population, but it's got a naval base and a good starport.
It says client of Imperium. Is that a similar status to what Walston used to be?
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, sounds like we got a plan. Therefore, the plan for this session will be to make the journey to Elizabeth, and then we'll game in Elizabeth for that period of time. And we'll see what you want to do for a month when we get there. All right, so chartering the Arrow. Is there anything else that you want to do in Bowman before you depart? This is a question for everybody.
I'd like to buy some more med kits.
All right, let's.
To buy ammo. We've been keeping track of ammo strictly.
You know what? Yeah, you can. Yeah, you should totally keep strict track of ammo. Absolutely. Yes. And any expendable and any. Let me know if there's other expenses that I miss in the sheet. Actually, I won't do the city crawl thing. If you're buying a basic item, med kit, ammo, you can do that at standard price from the book. If you don't know the standard price, go ahead and get it, put it on your character sheet, look it up later. And actually make the note in roleplay. So that's actually the purpose of the roleplay channel. Say, you know, Doc Ocean purchases 3 mid kits at minus 15,000 credits, and then I'll take that and I'll put it in the cash flow.
And
Okay.
We could do that at any time, like between sessions, right?
Yeah, that's between sessions for sure. By the way, I'm really happy with that. I don't know how you. I'm happy doing the like bookkeeping and tracking between sessions. I don't like doing that during the game.
No, that's great. That works. That works great.
All right, so you guys are going to get some supplies. Anybody else? Anything else you want to try to do?
I'm good.
I'm good.
Right on. Let's get
good.
on the starship.
What's the price of ammo? I mean, can someone share that? Is that pinned somewhere in?
It is pinned if you're in roleplay. The weapons and armor thing.
Got
The
it.
price
Thank
for
you.
ammo is listed as one of the columns for each weapon.
Got it. Thank you.
All right, so once again, just as a reminder, this rented chartered ship here from Lucky Yo's friend, it seems to fly. You could say that at least. Its sensors work good. It's good at doing what it does, but it smells bad in here, and the cockpit's cramped. This is a poor representation right now of what's going on in here. You all are only inches away from being shoulder to shoulder. You've got wires hanging down in front of your face, and you're trying to, maybe even Chapman is, he's trying to like actually fly and look at panels, and he's trying to get wires out of his face. And you gotta find some duct tape and hold it up against some of the paneling so that it gets out of your way. And you request a clearance from Koenig's Rock, from a sleepy person who sounds as if they just have a handheld radio. And eventually they show up and they give you a half-hearted goodbye. And you're back out in space. Captain Bellamy, what do you do as soon as you get back in the black? You're muted.
Sorry about that.
That's all right.
We wait till we get safe distance and then we jump.
Very well.
We have to assume we already paid 5,000.
You'll need to have told them, so it'd actually be 10,800 credits. That's,
Okay.
that you'll be gone 2 months.
No. I mean, we have to pay for the flight plan.
Oh, sorry, that's 10,000. That's right. I appreciate that. I had that on
Yeah.
here. I don't know. I missed that. Yes.
Yeah.
So that's also 10,000. So that's
Okay.
minus 3,800.
And yeah, so that means we don't have to spend any time calculating it. We just have to jump when the time is right. I think there's still supposed to be a navigation roll, but
Yeah.
it's not the same as yeah.
Now, these people that aren't here, do you all, Doc Ocean, you want to use your engineering and your navigation? You want to pick that up this session since they're not here?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. So what we usually do is I like to wait and like go ahead and roll, but you hide it from us and don't tell us the navigation check. We'll just always make it roll high, and I'll reverse the chart where it wants you to roll low. So that way it's just always simple. You always want to roll high. So you can start by making a engineering check.
Okay, and you don't want me to roll it on the Foundry page? You want me to roll it secret?
For the engineering check, you can roll it in the open. This is you like checking the ship systems and seeing their health.
Okay.
This is a big it matters only when it matters check. So it seems that during this space flight right now, before you initiate this jump, that the ship's engines are in average health. They seem like there's a disparity between the power outputs of the two fusion drives.
You can, there's a little drop-down menu in the chat box where it says public role, and you can switch it over to, I think if he puts it at private GM role, it's just him and you that see it, I think.
Yeah, and I don't want to know either.
Okay, so you can just do self-roll. You can set it to self-roll, and you'll be the only one who knows.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and so for your navigation check, go ahead and make the check, but hold on to it and don't tell us. Yep, see, I don't know it, so... Okay, so let's go ahead and go to a safe distance and see what happens. I'm going to disagree with the system in this case. I think a huge downside for Bowman is that you have to get away from Bowman Prime, because that's where Königsrock is. So it takes you 8.7 hours at 2G to get to a safe jump distance. Let's see how far you get. That's bad. You make it about 4 hours away from Königsrock, and a familiar ship signature shows up, and with some of this awful luck in the world. Now you have scout sensors right now. Who usually does Books? Do you do comms and sensors? Do you do both?
I don't think so. I thought I did comms. I'm happy to.
I think we had said that Chapman, as the pilot, also does some. I don't know.
What do y'all want to do? You want to do that?
In the VTT, where it has the Lady of Mercia and it has the different stations, sensors / comms is one station.
Okay. All right. In that case, Books. So it looks like this. Okay, you all are headed this way, obviously, to your 12 o'clock, and then at an intersection of vectors that'll be happening, here at some point soon. It'll probably happen in, let me look. It's going to happen in about an hour and a half. You're going to be on an intercept course as it stands with a 400-ton trader that you recognize the signature of.
They wouldn't happen to be the
400-ton trader.
The same ones that we just sniped their turret off of them yesterday, is it?
Yes.
Oh.
How many times do we have to teach them this lesson?
Wait, there are 400 tons?
Yeah, it's a mining platform, and it's a big free trader. It's a bigger ship, yeah.
Oh, well then we can.
Oh, sorry, no, my bad. It is a 400-ton trader. I'm sorry, that ship was a scout. I've got it backwards. But yes, this is an LSP mining platform. And yes, you are faster. You have thrust 2, and they have thrust 1.
I say we completely avoid them. Just calculate a route, to our right, like over in this direction that outpaces them and swing back around on course.
Aye, aye, Captain.
Yeah, I agree. I agree with
I
that.
agree.
All right, let me just see if anything wild happens. No, it does not. However, it does take longer. So it ends up taking about 12 hours. As you thrust 2, you change your vector, start heading this way. Okay. But that works. They're unable to catch up to you, and it's possible they didn't even see you on their sensors. But you were able to avoid them. Man, these scout careers have some advantages.
We transmit an image, just like all of us getting together, you know.
Let's see, 12 hours.
Break out the Imperium.
You set in a new course and break out the Imperium board game.
Yep.
All right, and then finally you make it to a safe jump distance. What that looks like in the Bowman system is you have to get away from from Bowman Prime, but you can't be on course with like any major asteroid, which is so essentially getting away from Bowman Prime. And you do that, and you also do an evasive vector to stay away from this LSP ship. And then Chapman, well, first of all, Doc Ocean, in this case, we'll say Shipley's sick or something. You plug in your navigation. You've done your calculations and everything. That gets fed over to Chapman. You have the ship controls, and as soon as Captain Bellamy's ready, you initiate the jump. And space peels outside of the ship away from you. I've learned from a novel now that you probably make it so that you don't have photographic viewing from outside the ship once that happens, and you suddenly are kind of encased in a tin can and you're not looking out there, and you are in a little kind of pocket universe, a jump space, and you were there for a week. Is there anything that you all want to do in a week that you have?
I gotta study. So that will be 100 more credits to do 2 additional education sessions. I'm now at my 11th and 12th, so that it's 6 weeks non-stop hitting the books.
Nice.
Same. I'm right there with Chapman. I think wasn't Shipley there too?
Yeah, I will
Yeah,
actually
you
have
do.
her be able to do that, yeah. So 100 credits from each of you all. Gotcha. Anything, Captain Bellamy, or Doc Ocean, Velez, Isabella, Lothak?
Can I help them study?
Yeah. Yeah, you can help them study. Make a intelligence check.
Okay. Intelligence. I have a 7 for intelligence, so I don't add anything, right?
Yeah, you got to roll 2d6 under your intelligence score.
Okay.
Can I
I rolled
argue?
over.
Okay.
Right. I was going to include a few more caveats to that, but yes, you rolled over. What were you going to say, Bellamy?
Oh, I was only going to argue for his use of education.
It's a good point. Yeah, actually, I like that. Yeah, you could repeat that roll under your education instead. Very good point.
Oh, okay.
Thomas, you can
I'll
set
set
it to no longer be private if you want.
Gotcha. Just under my education.
Nice. Okay. So what I'll say is that in order to help them, though, you have to help them like the whole journey there, the whole time they're there, and the whole journey back. And you have to spend all your time doing that.
Okay, sure.
If you do that, then I will say you can all of you can add a dice modifier 1 to your education roll at the end of your course.
Oh.
Essentially, Doc Ocean will spend all of his time doing this.
Dope.
If you're not like literally saving someone's life or performing surgery, you know.
Yeah.
I'm curious, Andrew. What is Books' education level that he's trying to better?
My education level is 8.
Mine is 4. So it sounds like Doc Ocean might have been helping me practice my nouns and verbs through my ABCs.
I don't know if you all um, could help me with this. But when Tiffany comes back, could you all please tell her, hey, you get a +1 dice modifier when you complete your education thing? Okay, appreciate it. Okay, so you're in jump space for a week, and then a certain amount of time comes up, and like you exit jump space. Oh, go
I
ahead.
just want to say I spend my time occasionally sticking my head in on the study group and like sort of nodding and giving them like walking around, like pacing around, distracting them and making dad jokes and then leaving awkwardly. That's how I'm helping.
Are you
And
winning,
then
son?
yeah, and then the rest of the time just sort of like getting distracted in the cargo hold, in the huge. Well, no, there is no cargo hold. Never mind.
Yeah, you
Different
have a
ship.
cargo hold. It's 2 ton, but it's full of mining equipment and a
Yeah.
prospector buggy.
Oh man, I'm probably going stir crazy.
Yeah, there's nowhere to swing your cutlass without
Yeah,
risking slicing open the prospector buggy. Let me know if you want to try to do that. But anyways,
No,
yeah,
thanks.
you exit jump space, and you come out into the here it is, the Detrillion system, and all right, you exit jump space into the Detrillion system. Captain Bellamy, what do you all do?
Immediately scan sensor sweep.
Oh, and what was the result of your navigation roll, Doc Ocean?
It was a 3.
Whoa! Whoa!
At least we're in at least we're in a maneuver 2 ship or yeah, 2G ship. Otherwise, this could take like another week.
All right, you aren't gonna like this.
Oh Lord. Oh no.
So, the bad news is, so you do a sensor sweep, you come out in space immediately. I assume the software package that you had mentioned, I think we had that written down somewhere, the typical software package you start with.
Yeah.
Except obviously you don't have the Lady Mercia stuff, but you come out in the second planet in the system, and that's really bad news. This is a red dwarf star, and it is nearly at an annual opposite of its orbital path from Detrilia Prime, which is Detrilia Prime is a gas giant, and then there's its largest moon is where the low port is. There's no high port. You're able to determine this stuff as soon as you jump out. This is 136 hours away.
Another week.
Somebody get a limb chopped off, I'm your guy, but maybe navigation isn't my thing.
I'll pat you supportively on the back and then on the head.
All right, so a total 148 plus now. You do manage to execute the jump in a standard 148 hour period. Plus another 148 is 2 weeks total from the time you left Bowman, which is 296 hours. I'm sorry, that's not precisely 2 weeks. I have this backwards. I'm sorry. 168 hours.
The jump itself should be a week, no matter how many parsecs, right?
Yeah, 168 hours plus 148. It's 316 hours. It's just shy of 2 weeks.
Wait, we were in jump space 2 weeks?
No, you were in jump space a week. It took you 12 hours to get to a safe jump distance in Bowman, and then when you arrived here, it takes you 6 hours
I
to
see.
get
Okay.
to the Trillion Prime. Okay, so
Whew. How many rolls is that?
7.
7. This is a lot of people here, by the way. According to the UWP, this planet has a population of like 8 million.
Love to see it. You have a peaceful journey for the next
Wow.
week
What?
as you play board games.
Wow! Wow!
Resting the entire time.
Yeah. How are our interpersonal relationships at the end of that? At the end of that,
It's absolutely miserable, primarily because it smells, and Lothak's recent change to a protein diet is requiring an adjustment. So
I wish we had pirates to go with right now. I could throttle each of you.
I don't want to reduce. And then you have Lady as well, who also does smell like a dog. Now, I don't want to simply say Lothak smells like a dog, but she doesn't smell like a human. And you are in cramped enough quarters that everyone's smell suddenly matters a lot.
Yeah.
Also, you're supposed to clean the filters on these. I think it's every maintenance period, every regular maintenance period. And if you don't, you get these weird smells. So that's the problem. And so smelly board games. Anyways, you
all
make
right.
Incredible.
Well, a peaceful trip, nonetheless.
Yeah, so Trillion Prime is a gas giant. There's several different moons. It does not have a significant planetary belt. Like sometimes these gas giants will have like ice belts and things. It does not have a major one like Bowman did, where Bowman had multiple belts. And you come up on the largest moon toward the end of your journey, and you see that it looks like most of the approach end of the kind of the sunrise of the moon from where you're approaching. It looks like it's morning time at the low port, and it offers you a clearance, a fairly cheerful one. And it looks like you're going to land in a bubble, like underneath a thing, and it sits on a coast. After you land on the planet, this place is well, there ain't too much going on here. The Trillion Prime, the low port, the area surrounding it is a little kind of city, like what I would call this, like a nation state, similar to what you saw in Squalia, where you have well, you never went to Fondor, but like Squalia, where it has this major nation state. Now that was underwater. This is under this dome, which had to have been built sometime a long time ago, because most of the people here live in the simple shanties of a border of a fringe colony town. Thomas, I'm going to mute you, okay? Get some feedback on your end. You can see up in the sunrise of the morning, you can still see some of the planets in the sky illuminated by the big, the weird colors refracted from the atmosphere and the combination of the bubble that you're under from the Trillion Prime. And as you land, exit the the arrow and come out, you're able to breathe under the bubble somewhat regularly. Let me find the gravity information. It's going to be normal if you're in town. Let's see, mass is half. Well, I can't. It's less than one standard G though. The gravity here. And actually, that's probably the case everywhere you're at in this frontier town. As soon as you leave, probably Captain Bellamy, something you see is the typical starport trade board. The starport is administered like most starports, like an Imperial starport. So you got a board with passengers and cargo, looks mostly empty, and then your eye catches something. It's the starport services here. It provides a warning to local ships. Just like our like in red, like warning. Not to go to the gas giant. And it says that it takes 2 days to get fuel here, and that the cost is double cost for fuel, and it takes 2 days.
It is what it is.
Right. Get fueled up. You got a couple days here.
Are we still going to do the normal looking for cargo and passengers just in case,
We
Captain?
have no cargo hold,
Oh, crap.
and we have no
What a-
passenger space.
Oh, yeah, we're a scout ship.
Yeah,
Oh,
we
man.
are just on our way to do that thing, and I mean, as much as I hate to say it, I mean, our ship can't go anywhere. It takes two days to fuel, so we can't really.
This has radicalized me. The scout services is useless. If they can't haul stuff, what is this for?
All right. Now you got a few options here while you wait a couple days. You can go and hunker down. You could go find a local lodging. Hey, you find the lodging, unlike the fuel, it's quite cheap here. It's half the price. But you could do that, just hunker down, or you can go out, hang out, go out on the bars, go around town, talk to people, gather information. And the last thing that you can do is you can actually try to seek a patron.
I don't know how you all feel. My instinct is to say put blinders on. We got a big stack of side quests still waiting for us. This whole thing here is a diversion only to get the money. So, and then we got one waiting for us at Elixabeth. We got like 2 or 3 more waiting for us back, Spinward. So, anyway, that's my vote.
Yeah, I say hunker down. Are you all hearing the music on my?
Does anyone want to
end?
try getting into trouble while we're in town?
I hear it.
Okay, my bad.
It sometimes takes
no,
a while.
no. I don't hear your music. I thought you were referring to Ross's music. I don't hear any problems, any other interference.
Yeah, I don't hear it either. I wouldn't mind checking out like the town a little bit, seeing what's around, seeing what you could get into.
All right, a little bit. So let's just do it this way. All right, you're gonna get 2 encounter dice, 2 chances. You're gonna go from the starport, find a place to hunker down. That's 2. That's back and forth in 2 days. Each time you go around town, check something out, you tell me what you want to see, and you'll get 1 more dice, which is an hour. So here we go. Let's go from the starport to the town. Nothing happens. The town here is, well, it's like this image. I like this. It's just a shanty. Sometimes 2 stories, sometimes they're stacked up 3. They use local materials. Now, you notice as you walk around town, Books, that there's not a lot of travelers here. You've come to see what travelers look like. Different types of people that do different types of work look certain ways. Travelers oftentimes are war veterans like you, and they've got hardware on their face. And sometimes they're wearing part of their vac suit because they got to keep moving. And you don't see a lot of that. You also don't see a lot of belters, like people that live out in space, right? The people here, you see, you run into 3 kinds of people out here that you see. You run into some slender, I don't know how to describe them except a mixture of, I would call it like Slender Man and like an elongated, stretched human with big pointy ears. Slender Man elf / gray man.
I don't like that.
There's like 1 or 2 of them. There doesn't seem to be many of them, and they're also keeping to themselves. You also see, Books, that there are like typical Volani humans of every shade and hue and size, you know. And then lastly, there are in all these 3 groups, they keep to themselves. They don't seem to interact with the other groups much. There are 4 armed humanoids that seem to have taken on a hue about them, like this gas giant. They have like a green tint to them. And yeah. So what do you want to do, Books?
I very much want to go visit the Slenderman elf people with the long ears. I want to go say hi to them because I'm sure they have an interesting story to tell.
All right. You have a peaceful trip walking, and you're able to quickly determine as you walk along the streets. You see a couple of these people interacting, but you're walking toward them like, all right, I'm going to talk to them, and you're able to kind of determine like where they're congregating in the city nearby. Like, I don't know, maybe you see like some city layout map, or maybe you hear people talking, maybe you stop and ask somebody, but these are aliens. They are Darians. And let me make sure I don't have that wildly wrong. Darians?
I mean...
Darians. Yeah,
they're still... Yeah, okay.
Yeah, I imagine humanity can look very different. Some
They're
of them
definitely space elves. There's no doubt about that.
Yeah.
No matter how you say it.
I didn't mean to belabor the point that they're so alien as to be completely incomprehensible, but they definitely don't look like a Volani human. They look different. Well, anyways, you realize that they are running a university here in the city. And you have to go closer to the kind of government quarters, the government quarter of the city. So you have to travel your foot to get there. But yeah, there is a university here called the University of Weiss. And they seem to be administering this university. And as you get closer, you can see that there are that's mostly the people occupying the campus. The 4 armed humanoids, you don't see any on campus. And as you're traveling, you see someone, you're walking down the street and you bump into somebody. And you stop and you like you bump into them and stop and like startle backwards, and you see he also has hardware on his face. But he also has tattoos. And portions of his hair are braided. And then he looks at you and he glowers at you. And it's obvious to you, Books, that this is a sword worlder.
Okay. And he's by himself?
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm gonna glare back at him, and I'm gonna give him like the nastiest look I could give, and like kind of like stick my shoulders out. Yeah, I'm just gonna do that and kind of like take a step towards him.
Oh man. Okay. He says something, and did we establish that you? I think we said that you probably speak that language because you literally have a 12 in intelligence. So you probably it's the Norse language. Old Norse. Yeah. Okay. He says in Old Norse, "You think you've won the war, but you haven't. You're wrong." And he assumes that you don't understand it.
And so I'm gonna laugh, and I'm gonna say, you think that you would know, like, wait, I need something witty to say, like,
You say that character. No, I'm just kidding.
yeah. Like, how would a common man like yourself know anything about the war is over, who won? Like, you're not part of the conversation. You know, I want to make him feel like he's small and like, you know, he doesn't know what's going on. So maybe I'll just keep it simple. I'll laugh, and I'll just say that's what you think, or yeah, that's what you think, buddy.
I'll back you up, since I
Are
also
you there
have
too?
an intelligence of 12, and we've talked with sword worlders at length. You say that's what you think, and I'll say to you in Old Norse, what is that backwater guide think he's talking about, like he really knows?
He smiles. He's missing some teeth, and he says, "You speak our language."
Wow, we got a smart one. Yes, yes, very good. What else can you tell me? You know, or maybe you're just talkative because they let you out of your cage for the day.
All right. He steps out toward into the street, and he unlatches the latch on his blade, and then he takes the other hand and unlatches the latch on his sidearm, and he says, "Pick."
Great. At this point, I'm gonna try to use a little humor, try to de-escalate the situation. So I'm gonna make a big show of laughing, big smile on my face, and be like, "Friend, I thought that's how you sword worlders greeted each other. You know, listen, I don't want any trouble. Why don't you just keep walking? I'll keep walking. We'll pretend we ever saw each other. You know, you could tell a story about this one day, years down the line, how you happen to meet the greatness that is this crew. But yeah, let's call it a day, all right? I got shit to do."
He smiles. He draws his blade out and he puts it on his wrist, and he says, "Do you know how many Imperials I killed with this blade? In better days."
Obviously, I wouldn't know that. Like, I just met you. I don't know. I don't care, though, to be honest.
I have no sympathy for Books right now. You dug this hole.
These marks, I killed them with the blade.
Is this happening like outside of a tavern where I'm sitting inside and watching the situation escalate.
It can be, but Book said
wasn't
that
established, yeah.
Book said that he wanted to go walk around town and check the place out. So
Yeah, I
this
agree, yeah.
is on the way to this university where these the Trillions are, and it's right there. It's within eye shot, like you're getting up toward the government quarters, and people are avoiding this scene. You know, they're like, they see this and they're just like turning the other way. And he smiles and he says, if you know how sword wielders are, you know that you have to offer something now. After this moment that has brought us together, you either have to pick one of either this blade or this gun to die by right now. And I promise you a good death here in the street. Or I see that you're travelers, and you have to hire me.
So that's his that's funny. So either
We're not.
Why not? Why not? We still have our comms units, yes? Is there an...
Well, let Books do this. I mean, this is,
no,
I agree with Alex. He's dug this hole. It's
I don't want to just. I kind of want to shoot him.
Jump in and help him out.
I kind of want to just shoot him in the head, like, and just keep walking. But
There are literally quick draw rules in this ancient game.
Hold up, did we not establish? Is there not some levels of law here that we'd have to reckon with?
Yeah, there's law here, but this is a kind of a snapshot moment in time. But you probably only have moments until the law shows up. I think. Let me look again. I'm pretty sure.
because if I could get away with shooting him, I totally would.
You can. People die in the streets here. Actually, my bad. This is a Tuesday. Yeah.
All right, I want to shoot him then.
Okay, are you gonna try to
Indiana
do?
Johnson right in the street?
Yeah, I want to make a show of it.
All right, let me see.
Rito, this guy.
Unless
we want to hire him. Does anybody want to hire him? I would say that into my comms. Like,
Yeah,
hey, I'm about to
we can
shoot
get
this guy.
Wait,
Unless you guys.
Maybe we can have
Shoot
this guy
who?
do our communications on the ship from now on.
Captain Bellamy's waking up from like the really crummy the Airbnb that you've got here, and he's just like, shoot who? These kids, can they just please go one day without getting in a shootout in the street? Drawing. It says weapons are usually carried holstered or slung, unless you state to the contrary. Attempting to use a holstered or slung weapon is subject to a DM -3 when drawing. I will provide them the same thing. And a draw is we will both make a shot. Unless you can tell me any bonuses you have, you will have to hit on a 8 with a DM -3, and so will he. It also says that you'll add your dexterity. Well, and you would with your weapon if you'd add whatever bonuses you have.
Okay, no, I was thinking that because it would be like an unexpected thing that I could just like get a free shot in.
That's
and
this.
kill him.
Yeah, that's the roll for it.
But isn't it? But he gets to shoot as well, right?
No, I mean, let's see if you hit. But I mean, if you miss, then yeah, he's gonna try to shoot you. Yeah.
I feel like that's too much of a risk. Because
I mean, that's how shooting people works. It is a risk. It is a risk.
I mean, wouldn't I get a bonus for being like right in front of him?
Maybe. That's up to you. Look at the bonus things. Well, don't look at it, but if you know it, you can add any bonuses that would apply. Of course.
Okay.
But,
yeah, and with that -3, that's gonna make it tough.
Now that would achieve what you're describing. That's you like and like shooting him right between the eyes and killing him. So.
Okay. Just thinking. If
Now he's thinking.
Well, if it was like a sure shot, then yeah, I would absolutely kill this guy. I have no problem with it. But if not, if there's a chance that he could kill me, then I'm
There's
like, damn.
always a chance that a skilled gunfighter you meet in the street could notice you're twitching to raise your weapon. Always a chance. Yeah.
So I'm gonna. I guess we're hiring him. No, I'm gonna try to trick him into thinking he's getting hired. I'm not gonna shoot him. So I'm going to.
He says, "You're not trying to trick me into shooting me, are you?"
Never. So, listen, you drive a hard bargain, but I actually think that I could talk the captain into, getting another hand to help us out on the crew. The only thing is, it's gonna take about a week or two. We have some business to finish up, but I could give you coordinates, right? And you could meet me in 2 weeks. We'll pick you up. I'm sure there's stuff that you need to finish. I'm sure you have friends and whatever.
I want to follow you right now. Actually, the name is Rune, by the way. I'm what my people call an Einhajar. I am a traveler seeking glory.
Nice. Yeah, no, that's cool. You have a cool name, Rune. I appreciate the enthusiasm. I do. I love it. But right now is not an option. One thing too, if you're going to be on this crew,
bores me. He starts reaching for his weapon.
Yeah, see that right there, we're going to have to, you can't just go trying to shoot somebody when you disagree with them, or else you're not going to last on the crew very long, because there's not going to be a crew, because you're going to kill everyone. So let's use this as a learning example.
What's your social?
My social is 3.
A 3. All right.
Yeah.
This is going to be hard to pull off. You will need to roll under your social to convince him. Yeah.
Oh gosh.
All right.
He's
ready.
close.
He's ready to fight. You can roll for initiative. Oh wait, don't roll for initiative. Sorry, it's a surprise. You roll a d6. So if you roll a okay, and then it doesn't matter. It's only if there's a difference of 3. Rolled a 2. Okay. He is the aggressor, so he gets to act first. And so he tries to shoot you. So let's see. 6. Now I'm going to apply that minus. Was it 3? I said.
Yes, minus 3. Chapman, you have my back, right? You're still here.
I got you, buddy.
he draws, shoots, and then dives into the nearby street for cover.
I just wanted to go audit a space elf course, and we're getting shot at by this maniac because you couldn't keep your mouth shut.
I have no idea why he's so angry. It's out of the blue.
Okay. All right. Yeah. You all are able to act next. He is now in partial cover.
All right.
Okay.
We go in from either side. Try to get on either side of him.
I'm going to actually use
this.
I'm going to use this as kind of like a depiction of what's going on. I think that'd be better. There we go.
Okay. He's around the corner.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay, so you move to negate the cover and then fire?
Yeah, I'll just
Yes.
You can do that.
go right over there. Just walk up side by side and just shoot him.
What's going on? Shoot who?
On the radio. Poor Captain Bellamy.
Don't worry about it. Go sleep in. Eat your breakfast.
Roll the hit. Let's do it.
Yeah, it's continental breakfast time.
I got a total of 7.
All right, 7 will not hit unless you have bonuses. I mean, you tell me, if you get an 8. Okay.
Yeah, I got 6. Or 6.
All right, that makes it his turn. Now, the bad news is that you didn't say you took cover. You said you literally tried to negate the cover. Which removed his his cover, but he will make a regular roll to attack
Oh my
Books
God.
with a pistol. It's 3D. Books, you take 13 damage.
Oh.
You'll start with endurance, and then you'll pick the next one if you want.
Okay, so you said 13?
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Is Books down?
Yeah, good question.
No. Well, to be down, what? I have to go down 2 stats, right?
No, just the first stat.
Oh, endurance?
It
Yeah.
means, like, knocked out or like bleeding out or whatever.
If you go down 2 stats, you're like mortally wounded without
Right.
like immediate attention.
Okay, yeah, I just went down 1 stat. So my endurance went down.
All
And then
right.
some of my strength.
I will ask our sword wielder friend, does that satisfy your honor?
Let's see. He turns to you, and he's like, I believe you also tried to shoot me. And he holsters his weapon again and then turns towards you in the street.
I'm not bound to your codes. The only thing that matters to us folks where I come from is looking out for your friends.
He rubs
However
his head. He's like,
however
Imperials are
stupid they-
so boring. And then he pulls out his gun and starts shooting you.
All right, I'll fire back.
You can finish your turn, though. Wait, no, did you already try to fire that turn, or? No, you didn't. Go
The
ahead.
So I'll do it another one.
Yeah, but what I'll do is you can fire, but then he will unholster his weapon. That's what I'll do. So go ahead.
Yeah, as soon as he rejects my offer, I fire back. I got a total of 9. That should be enough, right?
Yep.
All right. I'm using my auto pistol. I figured it was more appropriate for a duel, even if I don't have as big a bonus. Okay, I got a total of 11 damage.
All right, 11 damage is enough to knock him out in the street. He starts to pass out. Blood loss. He says he'll probably die here without somebody to patch his wounds, which he does not have. And he looks up at you as he's holding the wound on his chest. He's blood coming out of his mouth. He says, "Thank you." And then he passes out.
We should
All right.
we should bring him back and save him just to mess with him.
You're done. You're down.
That would be the most boring thing to do.
Well, I mean, because he's yeah, exactly. He wants that that death in battle. So I think saving him would annoy the hell out of him.
I'm not denying him his stupid honorable death. He earned it. I am gonna go on our comms and then let Doc Ocean know that I have a patient for him as I
Thank you,
drag
Captain.
Book's ass back to, I guess, the ship probably.
Yeah, I guess we know what we're doing here for the next couple of days. Brooks drags
I wanted
these
to go
people through the
Fit
streets.
in
back
on
to-
these space elf classes.
Now, I believe if you pass a medicine check, off the top of my head, I'm not going to look it up in the book. I think that you basically you like recover, you get your stuff back faster, just off the top of my head. So you can make your education check. But you will stabilize them either way. Like, they'll be okay, but you'll get your time back if you can. Is that under your education?
My education's
No.
8, and
This is Doc Ocean. Sorry, you get back. To
Oh,
the-
I'm sorry. I thought you were talking to me. I apologize.
That's all right.
Okay, so I roll under my education.
Yeah.
Okay. Using medkit. And that's under my education.
All right. Yeah, you get them back up and go in, and you get the bullets out. Pull the bullets out. They scream unconscious, and then you smack them And they wake up and you patch up the wound. They're sore, but they're operable. They can keep going.
There you go. How's that feel?
Woo! Thank you.
Anytime.
Rune wakes up and I assume you restrain him. Maybe not. I don't know. Do you restrain him?
Did we
left
brought
him-
Rune back?
No, I left him in the street.
I'm sorry. I thought you specifically said you were bringing Rune back. Yeah, you left him in the street to die. Okay, gotcha.
If folks were conscious, might have advocated for that.
Rune bleeds out then in the street, and he's happy, of course, about that. So, all right, that was your first day into Trillion, and you make it back, and should actually roll for your encounter. Okay, no, you do make it back. That would be fun. That's always the fun thing to do, is to roll for the encounter after the encounter. I like my encounters to have encounters. But anyways, you make it back, and do you want to go back out on the town or go see the what are these, Aryans or anything?
I'm going to stay inside.
Not everybody you encounter is going to be a sword wielder out like wanting to get in a gunfight, but that isn't to say that it's impossible.
I'm gonna go to the university. And
You're
I'm
gonna
gonna
go?
keep my mouth.
All right, so
I'll go with Chapman.
Okay.
Take two.
All right, and nobody else. It's just Books and Chapman. Is that right?
Here's my question: how much of what happened did you actually tell Bellamy?
I'll tell Bellamy the whole thing.
The whole thing? Then I'm definitely
no.
going with you. I mean, you know.
I'm not going to stay on the ship by myself. I'll go.
All right. And I assume, generally speaking, there's whenever you come into a port, you will always take lodging and food. Unless there's some dire need or reason to stay on the ship. That'll be like a normal expense that you can expect. So the first one is just making it down the street, and then you've got one more. It's down in the government quarters. You have a nice, peaceful walk today. There's a bloody stain on the ground as you pass, but doesn't seem to be a body there. And you come up to the university, and I assume you go through the most conspicuous building that looks like a place that might welcome outsiders. And there is a Darien at a desk, and they look up at you with a mixture of a vacant look and a kind of kind indifference. And the Darien says, "Hello. I see that you are a traveler. I'm afraid that we do not offer any cargo here."
That's okay. We're just passing through. We are curious by our nature, and we're wondering if you allow non-registered students to sit in on classes, provided that we're, silent and non-disruptive.
You see in her eyes this look of like she's going to, has something prepared to say, but then when you say that you want to sit in on classes, she's surprised, and she looks and says, "Well, as a matter of fact, it's become a recent requirement to allow outsiders to audit courses. I wouldn't recommend it. I don't think that our classes would be of interest to your kind."
What do we think, gang? I'm still inclined to try it anyway, just to see what she means by that.
Yeah. Now I'm even more interested in trying it. I don't know.
I'm really worried it's gonna be like, do you remember how the Vulcans get educated in Star Trek, where they're like standing in their little pod and they're like rapid fire answering miscellaneous questions that a computer is asking them for hours?
That'd be awesome.
So yeah, they bring up a list of courses, and one of the things that you notice, she brings this up on a data pad that is of a higher tech level by far than what you see here. This world is, you see like a shanty, but it kind of borders on almost like our technology, is what you almost see people using. And what she has is something much better than that. And anyways, the courses are on a simple calendar layout that she presents, and there are days where the university is vacant and there's no courses that are being offered. And the course load is actually really small and patchwork. You can't imagine anyone actually getting an education this way. Like, it wouldn't make any sense. But let me look real quick at what's on offer here. They are all undergraduate. There is a course in accounting, apparel design and merchandising, and ornamental horticulture. Those are the only courses on offer in the next 24 hours.
Any of those singing to you guys really stoking your interest?
I mean, they're all so exciting. It's hard to choose just one. Maybe the horticulture one.
You get this tinge of like embarrassment from her, and she looks uncomfortable that she's had to bring this up and is required to allow people to audit things. Yeah, you get the sense that she's embarrassed. But anyways, you're thinking about going auditing the horticulture course. It's an evening course.
I think, yeah, the same. I'm interested. You never know. Plants, they can be in space.
Well, you are in luck because this course is a hands-on laboratory. It's actually an experience course. They take you to one of the government buildings in the evening. Is this everybody? Everybody's doing ornamental horticulture? Everybody's down with this?
Yeah, sure.
Spending your evening? Okay. Well, you spend the next you spend the next 4. It's the course is 5 hours in the evening, but she manages to complete it in 4 hours. And you go to one of the government buildings, and she provides an exhaustive, like step-by-step, it feels almost molecule by molecule explanation of why which plant was chosen for each corner of the government building. And everything about those plants, why they're paired with like the pot they're in and other ornamental things and other decorations nearby, and what pairs with the plants, and how to breed and grow these plants and how to take care of them. And she goes through every single one in that building, and in the process you can kind of see what's happening in a government building.
I light up a cigarette while we're doing this.
She gets mad.
I don't have
and
to.
She just glares at you, and then if you keep smoking, eventually she's like, "There's not supposed to be any smoking within 50 feet of this government facility."
It's the most interesting thing I've learned this whole laboratory. I'll put
Ross,
it
are
back.
Are you saying you don't have a 5-hour course set ready to go for us? Is that what you're saying?
Like,
Yeah, this is really breaking my verisimilitude if you can't deliver on these kinds of details.
oh no. Let's see here. So, I'm trying to see what you would notice about this government building. There are a few things that you notice. The plants are not native to this planet, nor are the decorations. I think that Books and Chapman would automatically recognize these because of their intelligence and education. Your education is high, right?
Mine is low.
Oh, everybody's is low except what, Doc Ocean, maybe?
Yeah, I've got a 10 education.
Okay.
I have an 8.
Okay, and Bellamy. What about Bellamy?
Bellamy has 9 education.
Okay, I'm gonna say that I. This sounds iffy. This sounds like a maybe roll under again for Doc Ocean. I'm going to tell you the basics, but if you pass this, you'll know more, and it's because you're an educated person. Like you're a doctor, so maybe you're more versatile than just. Yeah. All right. So you rolled under it, right? Okay. So something that's obvious to all of you is that you've seen the Voden's Eye. You've seen other. You've been inside the facility. The Sword World Chop Shop in Bowman, and they kind of, a lot of their starship stuff has a kind of rugged utilitarianism to it, and often a lower tech level, but also a sense of like order. And apart from that, you get a glimpse of kind of maybe what they would care about, right? Like the guy had a tattoo on his face and stuff like that. Well, it looks like this building was decorated by sword worlders. And Doc Ocean, what you can tell is that not only is that the case, but this place is decorated like the hall of
You talking about a mead hall?
Jarl.
Yeah, a mead hall.
Yeah, and I don't mean like, I mean, it is like thousands of years in the future, so I don't think it exactly looks like a mead hall, but it has things that indicate that this is a Sword World nobility's hall. Things like there is a communal dining area, there are furs, there are banners. Some of the banners don't match. They indicate that the banners were captured. There are relics on display that have a martial quality to them. There are runes. Anyways, this is what you see as you are guided around this place and shown the plans.
I think this would be a good way to deck out the ship.
It's been proposed before, just go full space Viking.
Either that or the ornamental horticulture. If anybody wants, I don't know if anybody here has allergies to like pollen or anything, but we can do both.
The people you see in this government building are overwhelmingly human, Villani. All right. Is there anything else you want to do? Your 4-hour audit, and actually, what happens is no one shows up for the class, but because you came to the audit, she just did it anyway.
We were the only students.
Yeah.
Catman has never been to school before. I mean, he might have had something kind of like elementary school that he skipped all the time growing up. So he doesn't know the etiquette the entire time. Like, he doesn't know to raise your hand and stuff, to ask questions. But I got a lot out of it. I don't know about anyone else, but I assume that Perseus probably enjoyed it immensely and feels extremely educated afterwards. It's like he's finally bridged the gap between him and
I'll make you a
the
deal.
educated.
In the course of the campaign, if a subject comes up involving ornamental horticulture, you can certainly add a +2 to your dice modifier, and you can take an ornamental horticulture skill +2
Okay.
for all the times that comes up.
I think Books fell asleep during it, or like kept trying not to fall asleep during it.
Yeah. All right.
Remember
So
that one character in The Expanse, the botanist?
yes.
And during his brief time in the show, they had to figure out, like, increasingly contrived reasons why botany somehow was very useful on a spaceship.
Yeah, and by the end, Amos was like, "This is really important." He'd get mad if somebody screwed up all the plants that fell through the server wall. You know, like they messed up the ship. These plants are important.
It
Anyway,
felt like a player character making a really niche build, and the game master's like, okay, I guess here's a plant challenge that somehow comes up in the middle of this, space battle.
is there anything else on your stay on? I mean, this is a whole solar system. You can do whatever you want. Is there anything else that you want to do on Trillion?
I think our captain wants to get paid.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, yeah, I'm good. I'll thank the nice lady for her class and give everybody else a look and shake my head as I stalk back to the ship.
She doesn't respond. She is also glad that the day is over. She thought you were the worst students. She doesn't realize how important ornamental horticulture will come to be.
I expected.
Let's see.
I'm just sorry Chi missed this. I think he would have really dug the ornamental.
Yeah, this could have been the Chi. I am sad. Yes, this could have been a good Chi episode, wouldn't it?
Well, we'll have to hit it on the way
Come
back.
on back. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. It would be unfair to deprive him.
Let's see. All right, back on your ship. And I'll do the fuel cost later. Birthing, all that stuff. But yeah, it takes them a long time to load it. Why don't Doc Ocean, you go ahead and make your engineering check right now, and see if you can notice things as you. This will kind of represent you monitoring the engines on the way out. But oh, you're muted.
Sorry, I want to roll high on a 2d6, right?
Yeah.
Nope.
The engine health seems average again, and that doesn't add up with like how the ship was treated and how it was working in space. There's just something that is kind of dragging the performance of the ship down for some reason, but you don't know what it is. And it's not catastrophic or anything. The ship's running fine, but Books, you ask for a clearance to take off from the dome, and you get a cheerful farewell from the person, and you take off into space. Captain Bellamy, you're currently in a large moon near a gas giant in at the edge of a solar system.
Shouldn't take too long, I would imagine, in a 2G ship.
Let's see. You need to get away from the gas giant. It will unfortunately take 8.7 hours.
So be it.
All right. Well.
What does that mean?
Well, it's 2 6s.
I usually want the referee to roll low, unless it's a reaction check, I guess. 12. Holy smokes.
I'm really hoping we ran into a space yacht full of rich people in a jam who need there to be saved, and the only people who can do it are those who are experts in ornamental horticulture somehow.
Our feng shui, it's out of whack.
I
Feng
also,
shui.
there's also skipping. Let's see, where's it at? I think it's in this. Yes, on. All right. I'm sorry. I gotta do some math for a minute. Let me look. Okay. Plus 5 parsecs. Plus 1 for 5 parsecs distance. I don't know. It's not. You have to throw a 12 plus. So if you're within 5 parsecs, or trillion parsec. Okay, this is what happens. You take off to space. You got about 8 hours. You start heading out for about 3 hours. Get away from the gas giant. And just as you like crest, so there's a gas giant and then there's a moon. All of a sudden, a radar contact comes on from around the moon. And it is a big ship. And then one of the fusion drives shuts down. Like you've got 2 of them. Power shuts down on one of the fusion drives. Systems start to flicker and things. Doc Ocean, you check like what's going on, like right, like the engines. It looks like someone is in the engine room because it has there's some sort of manual override that's occurring, and they're trying to shut down the other engine. After a few minutes pass, and you get the sense like you know that somebody's on the ship. A signal comes in from this ship, and it says Arrow, shut down your engines and prepare to be boarded. And that's where we'll end the adventure for the night. Mythic Traveler is a space western merchant classic traveler campaign in the Mythic Mountains RPG Play Club. The music's by Kevin MacLeod of Incompetech and Greg Gibson with Timberzeal. Classic Traveler is one of the first tabletop role-playing games, and the first sprawling space simulator game ever created, by Mark Miller and Games Designer Workshop. You can find the free facsimile rules of Classic Traveler by Far Future Enterprises in the description. Mythic Mountains RPG is an online play club that focuses on folk RPGs. Those are the RPGs that aren't run or controlled by some huge corporation, and they don't have some set way to play and ain't nobody can tell you how you can play them. We play them however is the right way, and that's the way we want to do it. The table is the authority. We upload our games weekly on YouTube for everyone to enjoy and sit in without performances, fancy equipment, or monetization. It's just a group of people playing folk RPGs our way. You're welcome to join us, but until then, be safe out there between jumps.